Clock, Dom.
Oh, 8 o'clock. Do we go live then?
Yeah.
Are you doing the countdown or shall I do it?
I've done it. Just got it.
Idiot. See what I have to work with around here? It's ridiculous.
Now the next question is, can people hear us?
Can we actually be here? Can we hear? Can be heard?
Can be heard.
That's the next
It's
one.
Monday night. It's 8 p.m.
It's
UK time.
It certainly is.
Load of rubbish from us again.
Evening all.
With
Yeah.
extra people this tonight. We got
Good
Leon.
evening.
Hello.
We got Leon from Leon's T66 has joined us tonight. Now, question, as we want to know, is as usual, can we be
Can we be
by
heard?
anybody?
Shall I check on YouTube?
Oh yeah,
Hey, Leslie says
yeah.
yes.
If you could check both
Let's
our
see.
channels, that would
Let's
be
have a
spot
look.
on
Can you hear all three of us, Leslie? That's the question mark.
on both channels.
Right.
Yeah. Leslie says he can hear us, so well, hopefully that's a good sign.
Right, I'm on Ken's channel. Let
Cool.
me turn the volume on.
Oh yes, please.
Yes, I can hear you.
There's another. Middle-earth
Fantastic.
Shadow, good evening to you.
Right, I'm going to go on to Dom's channel.
Good evening, all.
Look at this. Blimey,
Hello.
technology. There's even three of us.
Right, I can hear you. I've
Excellent.
muted you again now, though.
Fantastic. Right, we can start then.
Yeah, we can start then.
Fantastic.
Good evening, folks, for another evening of chat and wargaming and rubbish and taking the mickey out of Ken's haircut.
Yes, it's absolutely spot on, isn't it?
Is it self-done?
Yeah, kind of. My missus was cutting it, and I got impatient, and I said, "Pass me the razor," and I just went straight over my head with it.
Nice.
Outrage.
A bit crazy.
That is a serious shutdown haircut, that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'll go a bit more with the face this week. Why not? Because I was a bit more on the desk last week. I can always hold the miniatures up.
Not the money shot then.
No, not the money shot. But yeah, good evening, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's well. Got a guest today. We got Leon T66. Welcome.
Hello. Hello.
Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Monday night.
No worries.
And yeah, what should we?
Bank holiday, we can't go to the pub.
No, we can't. Why not
Well, I
paint
can
some
sit here
miniatures
with a beer.
instead? Well, I'm
I've
jealous
got
because
my
I haven't
beer,
got
so
any.
don't worry
That's
about
not fair.
No, I ain't got none. I'm gutted.
That's not fair. So, shall we kick off this week of what we've all been up to? Do you want to?
Yeah, what have you been up to then, Ken? You start.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've been painting these Napoleonics in contrast from the offensive miniatures, and they are all done now. I will say one thing: Napoleonics are a pain in the arse to paint.
You're not a convert then.
No shit.
It's not that I'm not a convert. I like it. Obviously, these are the first ones I've ever done, so I've been trying to get the uniforms and everything spot on. Because obviously I'm doing a review of these miniatures, so I've been trying to do them justice. I would definitely prefer a paint scheme that is a lot more simple. So if any Napoleonic army is literally two colours with black boots, I would definitely prefer to do that.
Austrians maybe.
Oh, what colour's that?
Oh no, white.
Oh no, that's perfect. White's fine with contrast paints. You
Or,
put
Russian's quite easy.
Yeah, just spray. That's what I mean. The white on these is just like awesome. This just spray it white with the airbrush and then just go over with apothecary white and it's done. Literally done. But yeah, so I've been doing that. I've started painting some Japanese, but obviously massive for me this week was spent about 3 or 4 days doing that board build video, which is doing really well. Getting quite a few subscribers out of that. It's that was
Stalingrad.
Yeah, the Stalingrad one. Yeah, I actually got to. You can see behind me. Got to make the terrain up, the base layer of the terrain. Oh man, it took me 2-3 days of 5 or 6 hours a day. Obviously, I'm doing that in my living room, and my missus is at home as well. So
she's not best pleased.
Yeah, she's not. It's not the happiest bunny, but
bunny.
yeah. I used the excuse that I'm on holiday at the minute, so I'm allowed. So, and she agreed with me, so that was fun.
That.
Yeah, no,
she'll be grateful when you're famous and making millions on YouTube.
Oh, this is what I said, and then she said, "Well, I'm not going out with someone that does YouTube." I was like, "All right, then, see you later." Forgetting I've been with her 10 years.
Well, the thing is, she can't leave at the moment, so you're okay for a bit.
No, exactly. It's one of those things. But no,
Captive audience.
I've started doing the assault group Japanese, but I'm literally at the point now, which you'll get watch Dom's reaction to this, where I can just pick any miniature now because they're all primed. Whichever one I fancy painting at that specific time, I can paint. So if I want to do a German, I can do a German. But if I want to do DAC, I can do that, or a British, or some Home Guard. Depends on whatever I fancy.
I've said it before, Ken, and I'll say it again. You're a disgrace to the hobby of wargaming. That's all I can say.
Mate, I watched your video. Oh my god.
You did dare me. So I had to do
oh my god. Leon off camera took the challenge of that. Drop him straight in it.
Are you doing it, Leon? Then you're going to show your stash off?
Yeah, well, I've got to. Wargaming with Gary nominated me to do it.
Oh my god.
I've been putting it off because it was that embarrassing. But then I saw yours and I thought, oh, maybe I'll be all right.
It can't be that bad.
No, it's not too bad.
It's kind of even.
Oh, good. I'm pleased. I know I'm not the only one. I'm not
loads.
the only one.
There's loads.
Yeah, we're all the same. Especially if you've been doing it. You probably. How long have you been gaming for?
Since I got back into it. Do you know? I don't know. Years and years and years. A long time.
If you've been wargaming for any length of time, you're going to collect a huge stash. It's just inevitable. Unless you're like Ken and you just a disgrace and start selling your figures. I mean, that's just not really.
You can't even call yourself a wargamer if you do that, really, can you?
Yeah, but I got lumbered at the Warfare show last year with a whole drop zone commander army which I was never going to use. It was only 40 quid. The money in it was probably like 300 quid's worth of models.
So you thought, I need to have that.
Yeah, I need to have that. The shiny thing called my name, and I bought it. But to be fair, I made quite good profit on it. So it went to somebody that loves that sort of stuff. So I was happy with that, really. So yeah, stop trying to shame me. I will buy new models once these are all done. But then I can choose what I want to paint.
Anymore. That's just terrible.
Just think though, if you can't get any because of lockdown, then what are you going to do?
Yeah. It's gonna take me a while to paint these. I reckon, maybe a month or two at most, probably. And yeah, it's nice to have that. The end goal is in sight. I'll tell you what, when I do my last figure, I'll be like, this is the last figure that I've got to paint. But to be fair, Dom, I did open up my drawer and I forgot I had a load of Lord of the Rings stuff. Leon just reminded me.
You're welcome.
There you go.
So I have got a little stash. It's only a very little stash, but it's a little stash. But nah, it's all good with me. What about yourself, Dom? What have you been up to?
Well, I've actually been doing the real painting. So I've been painting my daughter's bedroom and the downstairs loo. So it's been a bit pathetic, really. So I'm actually covered in paint more than I would normally be, and it's emulsion and God knows what else.
It's not real. It's not proper paint. It's not.
No, it's not.
It's totally soul destroying.
It is, and I keep thinking, I'm not a huge fan of painting full stop, but I detest painting houses, painting rooms and stuff. So it's just like, oh God, and I'm thinking all the figures I've got sitting there waiting to go.
Yeah.
So I haven't done it that much this week. Although I am working on at the moment, just finishing off some Indian Wars. These are some British Rangers, English Rangers, 28mm. What were they? North Star from the
Nick Starter.
From the Nick Starter, yeah. So and they're lovely figures to paint up. I did the British regulars in campaign wear, which is great because I only don't have to paint them red, which is great. And these are Rangers, obviously in green, which is also great. So I've done 6, and I've got another 12 to finish. So
that's not bad then.
Yeah, so that's kind of something at least, and that's what I'm kind of enjoying that. I'm trying to be a bit disciplined on my stash, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
until the
good luck with that.
Stops. until mail order shuts down, on probably have no chance of this happening. But you never know. You never know.
No, very
yeah,
true.
you're right, Leslie. Leslie said there's still more waiting and more available for you to buy. Yeah, too bloody right, Leslie. Yeah.
I got Liam here going to me, "You're not a wargamer without shame."
Too bloody right. Hello, Manolo. Good evening to you. What about you, Leon? What you been up to?
Lange Connects.
They are beautiful, beautiful
Driving
things.
me mad. And some Austrians as well.
Nice.
Only halfway done.
Nice.
I'm just trying to choose
Now,
what
those
to paint.
Landschnecks you've been doing for a while, haven't you? And you didn't you say in one of your videos that you're not actually doing them for any other reason? You just fancy doing them. They're not for a period or anything.
That was the initial plan, yes.
I like the sound of this.
You just can't pick up. You pick up the most difficult uniforms probably there are to paint, and then you're doing it just on a whim.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, I got them for my birthday. I got me son and daughter said, "What do you want for your birthday?" And I thought, do you know what? I quite like the look of them Landschnecks. I'll get them to get me them. So they brought them. So I need to paint them before September, otherwise they won't buy me any next year.
That's a fair one.
That is, yeah.
But yeah, it was just on a whim. I just thought they look cool. I'd like to try them, but I'm losing my interest with them now.
Now, Ken, if you want some tricky troops, they are your ones. They are. You don't want Napoleonics are bad. These are worse, aren't they?
I think if you painted these with contrast, you'd get some really good results.
Oh, okay.
I think they'd be quite easy to do with contrast paints.
I do love a contrast paint.
Yeah, you could do them a lot quicker than paint them freehand. It's still freehand, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm going to be painting some Japanese tonight, I think. I'm going to go with Japanese.
Is that what you're working on? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Japanese. What about yourself, Dom? What are you doing?
I'm still doing some more of these Indian Wars Rangers still. I've just got another load of them batched. They're all primed, ready to go, so I'm just going to work through those. I've got the old contrast paints ready to go.
Bang.
Because I like them too. And we're going to bish, bosh, bish and see how many can get done.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
We use them for muskets and tomahawks.
Yeah. So I've got the new set, because I used to love the old set. They're really, really good fun to play. So I've got the Kickstarter or Nickstarter, and I got the new version, and it does look good. In fact, there's a plug coming from one of my buddies who I wargame with down at Farnborough, Alex Sharman. He's got a small channel. It's mainly does bowls on his channel, so you're probably not that interested in that. But he has just run 2 games of Muskets and Tomahawks 2 playthroughs, playing solo just to get the rules right, and it's actually quite interesting to see them being played out. So if you're interested in Muskets and Tomahawks, get over to his channel. There you go, little plug.
I've never played it.
It's kind of like it's like a Sharp but smaller scale, like Sharp Practice, but smaller games, and it's sort of, there's more variability in the game, I guess. You get the random events crop up from time to time, which kind of puts a spanner in the works. They've got the command system's different. The what else? Yeah, it's sort of a smaller scale version of Sharp, but with a bit more randomness built into it. I think it's quite fun. It's quite fun.
Here's a question. Go on. No, go on. Karen, sorry.
Leslie just said in the chat, Dom, Ken has no idea what you're talking about, and I think you're right. It's to do. I don't know whether that's reference to the painting or the stash of figures or historical wargaming. I don't know. Whatever it is, but you don't need to know. And Itinerant Hobbyist is in the house. Nice to see you guys. He's on the furlong and enjoying some painting chat. Good for you, mate. And what's Manolo saying? Oh, anybody painting Napoleonics or ancients? No, not tonight.
Not tonight.
I was last week.
It's
I will show off some Napoleonics in a bit.
I finished my Highlanders last week, but I haven't got flags for them. Flags of war.
Where did you get your flags from? Oh,
Flags of War. They're as good as GMB and half the price.
Right. Okay, Dougie.
So I always get them from there.
I tend to pick them up at shows. That's where I pick my flags up, and I never really know where to go other than that because I'll generally rush around a show and pick up the various flags for projects that I know I'm going to be working on. And when it's sort of this time, I'm now thinking, now where the hell do I get them? Like these? Oh, what have I got? I was thinking the other night. Oh, I've got some Grenadiers, American War of Independence, British Grenadiers to do. And I was thinking, oh shit, I need 2 flags for them. I'm thinking, where do I go and get them from?
Yeah, Flags of War.
I'll try them out.
But they're closed at the minute because of Corona.
Ah, fuck.
That's why I haven't got flags for mine.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah, I've got some here. I don't know if they're going to show up on camera.
Flags.
Sorry, I'll let you ask your question.
Japanese, right? So this is like my first lot of Japanese. If I want to do an officer, helmet-wise, am I right in saying some of their helmets there, if they got swords, they were white because they're different ranks, weren't they? You could do a white helmet.
It's not white. It's kind of a khaki sort of colour.
Very pale khaki, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a sun
flags,
bleach.
if you can see them, Dom.
Oh yeah, they're nice. I know I've got some of those, definitely. I will have to look out when they open again. I don't know about you. I like to just, when I've done the unit and when I've based them all, I want to put the flags on. I want to have them, then finished. And I hate the idea of coming back to them with flags because I know I'll forget. And then I'll pull them out to take them to the club one week, and I'll realise that
somebody stole the colours.
Damn flags. Yeah. Oh, bugger! I've forgotten again.
Disgrace! You lost the king's colours.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
These Japanese are probably the easiest things to paint in contrast. It's literally one colour.
What colour are you using?
Airbrush tunes.
Leather. All right, cool.
Using that over dark grey primer. It just works. Just looks good.
Yeah, I used a very similar thing with some of my Russians, just to get a bit of variation into the Russian uniforms.
Yeah.
So I wanted them all some of them sort of sun bleached and just sort of a bit different, sort of later war uniforms where it'd be a bit of a rough, collection of different outfits that they're wearing. So I did the same thing. It works really nicely. Plus it's quick, which is lovely.
It's always good when it's quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really love painting.
Yeah, you're more of a painter than are you? Well, are you more of a painter than a gamer then, Leon?
I used to be more of a gamer, but the club I go to, all the play now is 40k.
Oh dear.
So, I mean, I play it, but I'd rather not. I'd rather play historical. So, if I play Napoleonics or something, I have to take both armies down, and it's just a pain.
Yeah, can imagine. I feel your pain.
They will play it. They just don't want to paint it.
Yeah, I can't be bothered to play it anymore. It's just driving me insane. 40k. I just play bolt action. I just love the rule set, how it works. It's just like heaven compared to.
See, some of them used to play bolt action, but version 1.
Yeah.
And then when it went to version 2, everyone kind of dropped it.
Why? It's better.
I actually prefer version 1.
Do you?
Yeah.
What is it you like about that compared to?
I don't like templates for a start.
Right. See, I love a template.
All right.
I'm one of them. I'm one of them.
I'm not keen on the new cavalry rules.
Yeah.
I think Tough Fighters used to be a better rule than it is now. So I'm just not that keen.
Why don't you guys just play version 1 then? There's nothing stopping you, is there?
Well, yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it? They won't. They won't play 40k.
They just want to play 40k all the time.
Yeah, that's it. Just 40k.
See, it was the opposite for me. I would come from 40k, and I've gone off it completely.
Yeah, they won't play anything else. Mind you, to be fair, a lot of them, my old customers when I was manager for GW.
Right. Okay.
So I brainwashed them all, and now I can't unbrainwash them.
You've forgotten the switch to
He's-
turn them back
he-
again to normal
Yeah.
people.
He's opened the door to the question I was just about to ask him. So, Leon, what was it like working for Games Workshop? Are you under a gagging order?
Tell us the gossip. Yeah.
You'd think, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would think so.
Do you know, when I was there, it was a lot different, I think, to how it is. Or when I left, it was certainly starting to change. But when I first went there, it was a lot more about the hobby than it was about money.
Right. Okay.
And it was all about getting people in, getting them to play, teaching them to paint,
when
building your own gaming tables, all that sort of stuff.
So when are we
So it's
talking
really
when
good.
you were there? When just set
90, about 97, I think,
about 97.
when I started, and then I left around just after 2000.
Okay. So it's a fair bit of time ago, but
Yeah, oh yeah. It was when, I'll tell you what had just come out, or I'd been there a little while, and it just came out, was the Bretonian and, what else was in there? Bretonian and Lizardmen
right. Okay.
version of Fantasy.
See, I never play fantasy, but I want to. So I
See,
am.
Fantasy was my favourite game.
Yeah. See, I am waiting for their new fantasy version to drop in a couple of years.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath.
No, but I'm gonna see what it's like. If not, I'm gonna do 2 fantasy armies and play with somebody because I've got to play it.
Yeah.
So I'm ignorant of all this. So there was a whole load of gossip and a whole load of nastiness around them dropping that. Why? What happened? Why did they drop it? Was it just purely money, or?
Do you know, I don't know why they dropped it. They came up with Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
He said something else then.
Right, as an adult channel, we're fine.
Yes, we could do the odd
and-
swear word.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they dropped Fantasy. They said they weren't making no money on it.
Yeah, I think it's more the if you think about this is only stuff I've seen online, but if you think about how many editions that game had, they can only do so much with it, and it's more because they got a new CEO, didn't they?
Yeah.
Games Workshop, and this is when they've started going big. So streamlining to get more people into it. Because if you think it, like myself, yeah, I'm brand new to the hobby and I walk into a Games Workshop store. What do I need to play Warhammer Fantasy? Where do I start?
You need lots.
Yeah, exactly. But what do I need for Age of Sigmar? I just need an army, and I've got my rules that are free online. And it's just a way to get people in, isn't it? And then you get them onto your 40k crack. As soon as you get them onto the 40k crack, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Then the wallets are open. But that's we were talking about this a few streams ago, weren't we? That's the way that the hobby generally seems to have gone, is into much more sort of smaller scale, fast play rule systems where you don't need a huge amount of figures to play an army.
More skirmish, isn't it?
Yeah, sort of larger
that.
scale skirmish.
And
I'm
the other way still.
I know. I love a good big battle, but it's hard to play, isn't it? Unless you've got the space to play them, the time to set them up and play them.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, I'm the same. That's why I like Warhammer Epic so much, because you can play a whole massive army, but in smaller scale, so you need less space. And you still get that feeling of you're actually controlling a whole company of Space Marines instead of just legions if you go 30k, instead of just having about 50,000 individual models on the table. But I'm very much into my Epic, and I've done some painting stuff on them. I played it at Warhammer World when I went up there in January. Second edition Epic, this was from '93. Absolutely loved it. I'll have to give you a game of it at some point, Dom, just to intro to it. I've got a couple of armies, so just
I mean, one day I'll give it a go for sure. I mean, I'll play it pretty much anything. I have to say, I'm not that.
Well, enjoy Epic, mate. It's a good game.
Yeah, you like Epic as well.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it.
It's just because obviously I do like the lore. Don't get me wrong. I like that the 40k lore, and just to be able to have Titans on a battlefield, as well as like your Land Raiders and your Marines and everything like that. It's just like all coming together when you wouldn't be able to normally do that on a table, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I
Yeah, I
like
get that.
about it.
Yeah, I like that. I can get that, and I do like that sort of style of a big game where you can get lots of multiple units on the table rather than just. It does feel a bit sort of. I don't know, not quite. I still. Oh, I think again I've talked about some of the best memories I've had of wargaming and playing some of those really big, epic games like Refights of Waterloo or some things like that, and then then you play a sort of game with 30 figures on a table. It just doesn't quite add up to the same kind of fun.
No.
That said, if you with a good group of people you're having a laugh with, then it's still great fun. But yeah, those big games are great, but hard to play. Really hard to play. What was saying? Hey Paul, nice to see you tonight. What else we got in the chat here?
Seb.
Bolt action is an old hammer. Historical rules. Yeah, probably right. I know Leslie doesn't like bolt action, so we'll skip over that one. Itinerant hobbyist says that if he could afford it, he'd get someone to paint his armies for him because he's more of a gamer than a painter. And I kind of understand that. I would be much the same.
I've gone down that route before. I have had some Germans commission painted. There's a video on my channel for right back at the beginning actually of some commissioned Germans.
Really?
Yep, some Grenadiers. That's on there.
There used to be a company out in Sri Lanka that used to paint figures for you. I don't know whether they're still going, and they were actually a pretty reasonable standard, and they weren't ridiculously expensive to do. But I can't remember. I think it was Sri Lanka. But I had visions of a sort of sweatshop of them cracking the whip over some poor kids to. You must paint these.
Just to paint some.
15 mil Napoleonics, the right colours, or we'll whip you. I don't know.
God.
I'm not sure I like the idea of this.
No, they're probably not in business anymore. But I'm trying to think of the name of the bloody company. Airbrush Studios did mine. They're a couple of friends from up north, and they're really cheap actually. For normally you pay about £9 a model. Now in the UK for like a decent standard, they were £3.50 a model.
Wow.
So and that was with transfers as well and basing.
Really?
Yeah.
That is cheap.
Yeah. So they did that. They did 30, and vehicles were only £15. And they literally do it because they love painting. So
I get a lot of people ask me to do commission work.
Yeah.
But I just can't see how it'd be worthwhile doing.
No,
it's really hard to make money out of it, mustn't it?
It must be.
Unless you take shortcuts somehow, or an incredibly quick painter.
And I'm definitely not that.
I'm not too bad. I've only done both of these Japanese.
I'm a fairly quick painter, but you've seen my stash, so there's no chance of me ever having the time to do anybody else's things. So no chance whatsoever. Hey, on point HQ's in the house, as they say.
Hello.
Leslie says Dom's a tart. He'll play anything.
You're dead right. You're right. Actually, you say that. I very, very rarely play any kind of sci-fi or fantasy. That's not because I don't like it. It's just I don't really have any of their figures. So there you go. There's an opportunity for me to buy into. Apart from Saga,
I can change that for you, Dom, very quickly.
You know where I can buy some, mate? Okay. He sounds like a right wheeler dealer, doesn't he, old Ken? I know where I can find them. Down the back here. Come around the back here. I've got something.
Yeah.
Just for you. Special.
There's always something. There's always something. There's always emails to be sent. Always challenges. Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's itinerant. He said, he got Curtis and British Legion to paint his 15mm British Airborne, and they're fantastic. I like that.
Yeah, they do look nice.
They do a good job. Yeah, I saw some of those. Curtis was doing some of those live painting sessions, wasn't he? And he was doing a load of them, I think. I saw them.
Yeah, you painted them on there.
Yeah. Now he makes a living out of selling, painting and commissioning figures, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
The
Does
question
the
is, I
job.
wonder if there's a market just for just doing models to a tabletop standard. Like I would be able to paint. I could paint an army in contrast. Well, I did a North Korean army in about 12, 13 hours. So I could do a whole army in 13 hours with contrast paints.
Bloody hell.
If it's, I've got video on it. There's a stream of just 8 hours of pure painting.
I think you could.
Luke from Luke's Apps.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's how he started doing figure painting.
Yeah. We love his basing stuff, don't we, Dom?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got a load of that.
Got love Luke's basing material.
In fact, them Austrian guns that I posted the video of earlier this week or last week, whenever it was. I used his basing system on that, the Arid Earth one.
Yeah, it's bloody good.
Well, apparently it's Barry Hill's family used to paint figures in the Philippines. There you go.
There you go.
That's what Leslie says. I don't know whether it was them or not, but I do remember them, and they were quite reasonable.
That's the answer then. Move to the Philippines because it's cheaper there.
Yeah.
And start a painting business.
Contrast paints, I bet it's bloody dear.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what would wipe you out.
Yeah, buying the actual bloody paint.
You get stopped by customs every time you're coming in, and they're sort of saying, "What's in your bag, sir?" Oh yeah, paints. Yeah,
paints.
Yeah, whatever, mate.
Yeah.
Just come here. We'll put these rubber gloves on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Leslie says there is a market out there. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting.
I think it'd do well. You know what you should do, Ken, is we were talking about warfare coming up in November, and I think hopefully all this madness should be at a point where that may actually happen.
Yeah.
You should do an army and ready to sell at the bring and buy there, and see how well it goes.
It's not bad. I
thought
about doing that with some terrain, some basic terrain. Some of this XPS foam stuff takes next to no time to knock out with an airbrush. It really doesn't take time at all to make sections, especially hedges. My God, I could make hedges up I could do batch hedges, 30 of them probably less than an hour. Just literally, it's a dip and dunk sort of thing. It's ridiculous how quick sometimes.
I used to sell terrain at war game shows.
Yeah. How'd it go?
It's doable. Yeah, not bad to be honest. It's doable.
Yeah.
But I just got fed up with it.
This is the problem. When do you draw that line of you love your hobby? Do you create it into a job? Because then do you still love it the same? And it's just one of those. I want to?
I don't even build.
That's the problem, is it?
Building any terrain now.
No. And also, to be fair, it's so cheap to buy.
Yeah, that's it.
It's really, is it worth the hassle of building it yourself? I bought all that stuff from Last Valley, and it was so cheap. I mean, it's such nice quality stuff, and you think I could make it myself. It probably wouldn't be that difficult. But by the time I bought all the stuff I need to do it, is it really going to be any cheaper? Probably not.
And then all the time.
Yeah, time, and then the mess, and we've seen the stash I've got already, so I've got other things to do.
Annoying your girlfriend with it all over the living room.
There is that, yeah. How's that going, Ken?
Yeah, it's all packed. Do you know what? Laura's absolutely spot on with it, right? She let me do all the filming and everything, but if it goes more than a couple of days and I've had it set up, because I left it overnight, set up filming, because I've got it's not a tiny lounge, but it's a small lounge, so it takes up half the side of it. And if I leave it a couple of days, she starts to get annoyed, so I have to pack it down. But it's more the ball ache of packing up. It takes an hour and a half for me to, from finishing filming to tidying everything up and hoovering and putting it all away. And it's a massive job. But
and then having to start all again for the next video.
Yeah, for the next. Yeah, exactly. Well, this is the thing. The next parts are going to be, luckily, just building with the buildings themselves. So I'll be doing them individually. So I can just put those on a table and work on one at a time. And thank God for an airbrush. Oh my God, thank God for an airbrush is all I'm going to say.
Oh, he's back on his hobby horse again. Leon, are you a airbrush? I was going to say
no, I haven't got one.
Airbrush. No, I'm not.
I've been thinking about getting one, but mostly just for undercoating.
Yeah,
just
that's why I've
got to buy rattle cans all the time.
That's
Yes.
exactly what I did. That's what the reason I bought it. And then I realised how good it is for terrain. And it is
Yep.
spot on for terrain.
Do you watch the terrain tutor, Mel?
Yeah, I met him last year at Salute.
He's a nice bloke, isn't he?
Yeah, he is a really nice guy.
But yeah, he uses the airbrush a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah. Speed, you just can't beat it. It is so quick.
Yeah.
I think it's just the noise of the thing and the expense of getting it and then keeping it maintained. I just think, you know, when a brush dies, I throw it away. But you can't really do that with an airbrush, can you? You've got to clean it out, get it all sorted.
Yeah, but it only takes me about 30 seconds, Dom, to clean it. Every time you finish with it, it takes about 30. But look, I'll show you. This is my cleaning routine with my airbrush. Let me actually find the bloody thing. Here it is. All right. So got the airbrush. Okay, I'm spraying. I get some airbrush cleaner. I literally stick it in, close that lid. I get one of these, which is, you know, for dentists, the cleaning little tip things like that. It's got bristle on the end. Shove it through, give it like that, and then it's literally a case of, now I'm gonna have to bloody turn the thing on. Actually, it's all right. Actually, it's got some air in it already. This is where we get disaster.
Right. Tits up.
Nah, it'll be all right. So spray it on there. Okay, put it in its little cap and air down, and I literally just do that.
Yeah.
Emptied out. Make sure there's no paint in there. Just look, and then at the tip here, make sure when you pull it back, you're not getting any paint coming out. You just try and force it out, and then just clean that end. It's done. But if you've got to deep clean it, yeah, it's literally like this. You literally unscrew it, just with that one thing. Slide the needle out. Slide the needle out just like that. So you can see I've got some grub on the end there, yeah? So if I want to clean that off, I've still got some stuff there. Go like that. And it's done. And then straight back in, and it's finished, and it's ready to go again.
Yeah, I think I might have to get one, because rather than paying £5-10 a can for undercoat.
I'll make you sick now. All right. This pot here, okay, I think it's 100 mil. No, 60 mil. 60 mil, one shot, yeah? That's grey primer. £5.85. I've primed maybe nearly, I don't know, 600 models, and that's only about halfway empty.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
Mind you, so that On Point says in the chat, my airbrush makes me swear for 15 minutes straight without repetition. It's epic to behold. I think I'd be with him. I honestly do. I think I'd be with him. I think I've just just getting the technology to work for these bloody streams is almost past my grade. I mean, Jesus.
Let's try and find it. Let's try and. I'll tell you what I could do actually. Because I've got some air actually in there, and it doesn't matter if it comes on. Let me just switch it on. Right, that. Can you hear that?
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah.
That's my.
They're not loud, are they?
No, not if you get decent ones.
It's annoying.
Exactly, yeah. I'm just trying to. Let's find a color. Here.
Yeah, sorry, Don. That tickled me. That. It's annoying. Genius.
Sorry, mate. I'm trying my best. It's just, someone's got to keep this together. He's off on his hobby horses again. There's two things you get Ken going every week on. It's contrast paints and airbrushes.
Yeah.
You just set him. It's like an exocet missile. You point and shoot. Get him off and going.
That's it. All right. Boromir can have it, I think. Boromir can have a black undercoat. You can see it a bit better. Right, so obviously give the paint a little shake. And then it's literally 1, 2, 3, 4 drops of paint. And that's more than enough. That's too much already. All right, so I'm just testing, just to see, paint's coming out. And then it's literally a case of Spray.
That's not as loud as I thought it was going to be
No.
absolutely honest.
No. All right.
I mean,
There you go.
Leon's vapor is almost as loud as that, for goodness sake.
Boromir is now black, and he's ready to go next colour.
That.
Yeah.
But now I've got to clean it.
Paul says they're great for airbrushing, great for vehicles.
Yes, definitely good for tanks and things. That's what I've got a load of German tanks to paint, and I'm thinking it would be very useful for that.
Oh, and Medieval Warriors in the house. He's delighted to see you, Leon.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Ken close that contrast paint before you airbrush.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad. Yeah, that's very true. I like to live life in it. Here you go, Liam, just for you, mate. Life on the edge there, look.
Oh, don't do that. And nearly £5 a pop. You do not want to be knocking those things over.
That's toying with fate, that is.
Yeah.
Jeez, I hate that.
I've got mine mounted on circular bases to stop them falling over.
That's a very good idea. That's an incredibly good idea.
One point just said, sound of my compressor made miss question what I was doing, and I'm still not convinced she believes me. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
All right, across Dunes. All right, let's get these couple of Japanese done.
Oh, Leslie, you're shut down until May the 10th, are you? Bloody hell. Jeez. I think we're going to be the same. I think it's going to be
the end of June.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think there'll be some release before by June time, but I don't think it'll be. I mean, we certainly won't be back to how it was. That's for sure for a good while. Yeah. I think it'll be a lot of. You'd probably be able to go out and have small groups, but I don't think there'll be any sporting events or any pubs or shows or anything like that for a while.
No.
Sure.
Mate, I actually got my missus to play a board game today. I couldn't believe it.
Nice. Which one?
Monopoly.
I was going to say Monopoly. It's always a favourite.
You know, you're taking a chance. I mean, that is the biggest cause of divorces in most households, and you're doing it in a period where there's shutdown is happening. I mean, that's really bright.
Yeah.
My wife won't play that at all. She just said no. She said we, have too many rows, just not worth it.
You just got to lose on purpose.
I didn't lose. I won, but I let her have some decisions that went her way today.
Yeah,
I'm safe because she won't watch this stream, so I don't think she even. Well, she doesn't even watch YouTube. I find that absolutely crazy that she doesn't consume content on YouTube. She doesn't. She still doesn't understand that people actually tune in to watch us. She doesn't. She can't comprehend. She goes, "All you're doing is painting models." I said, "Yeah, but it's a passion and it's heavenly. That's why people love it." Yeah, we are. We are all sad, but we're all sad together.
Exactly. Sad together. So next weekend would have been Salute.
Yes. Let's get back on topic.
Let's get on topic. It's meandering around. There is a script here, you may not realise it.
Is it?
Very rarely.
Yeah, we have a script. We never stick to it, but we have a script.
The script is I write a few questions, and vaguely sometimes we get round to them, and that's about it. Really. So, what's your must go to show though? If if a normal thing's happening, what show would you have to go to every year? What's on your docket list? Leon, you're up there in the north. What's the go-to show?
I used to go to Vat Attack all the time.
Yeah.
But I've got bored of that now. It's the same old every year. So the only one I really is on my Partizan.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's not a must. It's like I'll go if I'm not working. But the must one really is Salute, because just for the meetup with all the other YouTubers and going to the pub and having a few drinks and that's it really. But yeah, I'll go to Partizan occasionally, but it's only if I'm not working.
See,
Partizan, they do 2 Partisans, don't they? There's
They
one-
do, yes.
I keep meaning to go and do one of those.
I've never heard of
I
it.
think one's
There's not a lot of traders. It's mostly war games. So there's lots and lots of gaming tables, which is great because there's lots of eye candy and loads of games to join in.
yeah.
And there's only a handful of traders there. So if you want to go and buy hobby supplies, it's not really ideal. There is stuff there that you can buy, but it is mostly just for going and gaming.
Hey, Alex in the house. Hi, Alec. How you doing, mate? It's my mate from Farnborough, Alec. I was just plugging your channel, Alec, for muskets and tomahawks. Anybody who wants to see how to play muskets and tomahawks and also learn the finer arts of bowling, go along to Alex's channel. And Paul says Partizan is one of his shows he likes.
I've never been, and I've never actually heard of it. So what is it all about then?
I've got a video on my channel, Partizan.
Okay.
But it is mostly just big gaming tables, lots of battles you can join in, obviously. And that's mostly what it is. And there's like 2 or 3 traders scattered around the outside, not lots. Warlord are there, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just mostly about the gaming.
Okay.
That's fun though, right? That's
Yeah,
good
it's
fun.
great. Yeah.
Because that's sort of a bit more like I've never been to one, but it sounds very much like the American conventions, sort of much more on the gaming side of things. I know they have lots of traders as well, but the emphasis is very much on going and playing games. If you go to something like Salute, it's more about
It's trader, isn't
getting
it?
your wallet out.
Yeah.
See,
But I don't mind that as well.
No, I agree. I'm the same. I absolutely I enjoy going to these shows just for multiple reasons. It's like you say, meeting with friends and having a beer or two with some of the lads. That's always a laugh. But getting my supplies of stuff I'm going to need or think I'm going to need and add to my mountain.
Definitely need it.
It's always needy. Yeah. Always needy.
Yeah,
And then
I'm not gonna argue
also
that.
play a few games. So kind of has to be a bit of all of that. Otherwise, it's no fun at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's definitely Warfare.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I might go to that.
You should. It's 2 days. It's 2 days, and
But it is a trek.
It was well worth it. Well, it's about hour and a half, 2 hours for me, to go up to Reading. But now it's at Ascot. It's a little bit further.
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna be well worth it for myself because the bring and buy on its own. That bring and buy sale, my God, you could seriously spend a lot of money in there. It's one of those.
Some good stuff.
And but it's,
I'm
it's
still
constantly
kicking
flowing.
myself from last year. They had 2 boxes of Warlords English Civil War starter armies, and someone was selling them for about 30 quid, I think, something like that. Both for 2 boxes, 30 each, so 60 quid. And I ummed and ahed, and I still now I wish I bought them.
I wish I bought some dwarfs when I was up there. Believe it or not, there was some dwarfs, a whole dwarf army, brand new, still sealed, probably about 120 quid's worth of models, and they wanted like 30 quid for them. And I was like, why didn't I buy those? Why didn't I buy those?
Maybe I didn't know what to go.
Well, apparently, I've been speaking to a lot of people. It's probably the best bring and buy sale there is. So a lot of people say.
Good.
But the thing is, it's not the same stuff all day. People are constantly coming in and out with
Changing
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
And being 2 days as well, that's the other thing. You get some stuff one day, and then the next day, obviously, different people have arrived.
Well, you can base one day on the traders, can't you, and then one day on games.
Yeah.
Because
I have to say it's my favourite show. It's the one I always put on the calendar first. Salute is one I would always go to as well, but for different reasons. But Warfare I just find so much fun. Plus, it was always combined at the same time as the Autumn Rugby Internationals, so we'd go and spend most of the day at a trade show, have a look round, play a few games, and then go to the pub and watch the rugby and get absolutely obliterated watching the rugby.
there you go.
Sounds good to me.
So it was a really good day out. Well, it is. Hopefully, it'll happen this year as well.
Yeah, seriously, I'll be gutted if that gets cancelled.
I've
Absolutely.
got one of them battalion armies, English Civil War armies in my stash, and I've got some dwarves in my stash.
Oh, I need dwarves. Can never have enough dwarves.
I've got no dwarves at all. There you
No,
go.
I don't know
In
why.
all
I've
my
got 'em.
stash, I've got nothing at all.
I've never even played dwarves ever.
I loved dwarves. Dwarven bread. Oh
I'm a bit
yeah.
concerned about. We need to put special rating on this channel, judging by his performance there.
Loves.
Real specialist interest channels.
Yeah. Oh,
No, I don't know. Well, actually, oh God, you just reminded me. I've got a Kickstarter coming from Atlantis Models.
Oh, for
A whole load of elves. So there's a whole load of them to come at some point. Oh shit!
What's it you've got
for them.
coming?
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you, Dom, tonight. Actually, what happened? You had a Kickstarter a little while ago that didn't turn up. What one was it? Has it turned up?
No, it still hasn't turned up. Although the guy did actually email the other day. So this was some Hungarians, Second World War Hungarians.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I've almost given up on it. And
Yeah.
this was the running joke. So I bought into it because I thought I'd really fancied doing something a bit different. And we talked about this on the channel loads of times about, like this obscure armies and something a bit different. So Hungarians, they're a good one. They fight pretty much all the way through the war, different fronts and what have you. And I thought that'd be fun to play. So, I saw this Kickstarter and the figures he produced before, and he'd done the Kickstarters before, and they were absolutely fantastic. So I bought into it, and they should have been delivered April last year, I think it was, something like that. And we still haven't got them. And he just went completely silent. Nothing happened. I thought, this is it. They're dead. This is gone. I did a late buy-in to it. I didn't actually buy through the Kickstarter. I went on his website and did it there. And but just when I thought I'd given up, he emailed and said, he'd had some problems and what have you, that they would be with us very soon, even with the COVID situation. And in fact, the email.
What's the name of the company?
Is it Dog Tags? Dog Tag.
Oh yeah, I actually know the guy that owns that.
Oh, do you? Right.
Yeah.
Is it Gary or
Gavin?
Gavin, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, he lives in the same town as me.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
He lost his job.
Oh, was that what it was? I have to say, I was a bit frustrated because I know a lot of people were, because it was like, everyone has problems and challenges in their lives. But, if people have bought into your Kickstarter, at least sort of keep up to date with, to say, I'm sorry, things are running late or what have you. And it literally, for about 6 months, nothing.
Radio silence.
Absolute silence.
Yeah,
and
I'd have been falling out with him, to be fair.
Yeah, well, I have to say, I'm not sure I'll be buying into them again, but they should be turning up at some point. But yeah.
Oh, Dom. Speaking of obscure Kickstarters, have you seen they've got some Danish?
I did. Will you stop trying to tempt me, Ken? You know I have absolutely no willpower whatsoever. But actually, in this case, I am not going to buy that one. I am definitely not buying into that one. Not because I don't want them, because they're Great Escape games and they do some lovely figures.
Yes.
And I really like their figures, but it's just I don't really want to. Not enough people have mentioned this before, but the guys down at Farnborough where I game, not enough of them really play enough bolt action for justifying yet another army, to be honest.
No.
And we play too many other periods and too many other armies that I just don't really want to buy another bolt action. As you saw in my stash video, I've got an 8th Army one to do at some point, and I've already got Japanese, I've got loads of Germans, I've got the Russians, I've got the Hungarians. I don't really need another one.
Speaking of desert stuff, I've got a lovely little motorbike here that I'm just about to paint. For Dak.
Is that Warlord one?
Yeah, this was a birthday present from Liam, who does the channel with me. When he makes a video, of course. But yeah, no.
Do you know that had to have been the most fiddly kit
What, the
I've
bike?
ever known to put together. That bloody bike. The number of bits I stuck to myself. They were at one point it was stuck to my eyebrow. It was just like I mean, just apps. I do not have much patience when it comes to making models at all. But that one, I at times, if it hadn't been that I really wanted to play it and wanted it in my army, it would have been launched across the room and into the bin.
The bike was a pain in the ass.
Is it the metal one?
Yeah.
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 Oh God.
Do you know the
only
worst
one
thing
that
about
was
this DAC
almost
one?
in the same realm was the 88. That was the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh God, yeah. The 88, the plastic 88 was a fucking nightmare. But I'll tell you something, right? This DAC bike was going well until I realised that it was actually the instructions for the European bike, which has got a machine gun on and is completely different. And this doesn't have any instructions, so I literally had to go on the Warlords website and just look at the picture and see where things go and guess. It was not the best, please. So it would be nice if Warlords actually gave instructions for the bike, because the instructions that they've even got on there are for the European bike. It's not the DAC one. So
thank you, Leslie. You can go back to France now. Thank you. I don't want anything to know. He just said the Partizan motorbike is really easy to put together. Thank you very much indeed. Bugger
cheers.
off.
I saw. Yeah, he's put. What's what we got here? Ken. There's a show in Bristol that is tabletop sale. Ooh, hello. That sounds interesting. What's it called, Leslie? If you can remember, that'd be interesting to know. Can now spray the base with a little water and washing up liquid. Don't get that. Oh, because of the bloody glue. I saw the Danish. I was tempted, Liam says. Yes. You got too many armies, Gumbo. You got to get a British force for these DAC to play yet.
And on point is a bit concerned about all the talk about the dwarves, which I completely agree. He says a bit questionable website going on here or something. Yeah, absolutely right. That's the trouble. You get Ken talking about that, and we're in real trouble.
Yeah. Well, that's sprayed. I'm happy about that.
So what do you do when you go around shows then? I mean, we kind of hinted at as,
I will go around the traders first. That's the first thing I
Yeah.
do. Traders always, because I want to see the companies that I don't see online. And I love going around trading and bargain hunting. That's mine, is looking for bargains. I love it. Absolutely love it. And then after that, I'll go and have a look at all the miniatures and have a look at the games. But for me, shows is all about traders.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's personal preference.
You sort of already said so, Leon, but same sort of thing for you as well, and the meeting people bit, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I do go around the traders. It all depends what time I get there. If I'm early and there's no one around the gaming tables, I'll do them first so I can get a video.
Yeah.
But if it's busy, then I'll wait to the end to do that and go around the traders first. So it all depends what time I get there, really. But
do you ever
I
play
use
any games?
Very rarely, to be honest. I just kind of talk to all the people there, but I don't normally join in. I don't want to get hooked on another game because like you, my stash is big enough as it is. So I'm scared that if I start playing games, they'll be like, "Oh, I'll buy some of that."
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
I did it.
I mean,
Go on, sorry.
No, I was going to say, I think part of the problem is some of the bigger shows, it's really hard to actually get on the games. Actually, unless you sort of hover around for half an hour or something until the vacancy comes up, it's actually quite difficult to get on the games.
Yeah, that's true.
People just sit on them all day long.
Yeah.
Which is great, and it's great to see people being enthusiastic and playing, but it can be a bit frustrating at times.
Yeah, well, give somebody else a go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, when I went to Salute, because I went on my own last year, because Liam had prior engagements, I'd got to speak to one of the guys from Flames of War.
Mm-hmm.
Does Team Yankee. See, I've got this Team Yankee rulebook. Got that for free because I played their new game. It was Tank Warrior. It had just come out, and I was the Israelis. But it's a guy I'd seen on YouTube. His name was I think it was Froggy. He goes on. He used to. I haven't seen him on there for a while actually. what's it on tabletop? Do any of you watch on tabletop?
Oh yeah.
He come over and he signed that book for me, which was rule
nice.
book, so free rule book. He signed it, so I was like, so I need to play that at some point. Jesus, still got Team Yankee to play, which I've never even touched.
Yeah, you've just proved Leon's concern straight off there. You play rule set, and then bingo, you bought 100
That's
quid's
it.
worth of tanks to go with it.
Straight into it.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I mean. It's even worse when he gives you a free bloody rule book. I was like, oh no, and then you feel obliged. You hang around for a minute until he turns around, and then you run off quickly. And I played that for about an hour, and I didn't even realise. I was like, "Jeez, it's been an hour." And
that shows it's a good game then.
Yeah,
it does. If it holds your interest, and even especially when it's something you don't know the rules of, or you never played, if you can hold your attention, then it's got to be.
It was really
fun.
simple. It was really simple, and it was really fun. I really did enjoy it, to be fair. But again, it's another bloody game to pick up and do, and it's like
more rules.
Well, I don't really read the rules, to be fair. Liam reads the rules. Liam's the rule guy. He's the rule Nazi. He's definitely not myself that likes to read the rules. But yeah, I just give him a rule book. Basically, he's got the Chain of Command rule book at the minute. Because we definitely want to have a game of that, especially on the Stalingrad board.
Yeah,
looking for. Oh, I can't wait to play on that board. That's a lie. You were straight to the bring and buy. Liam's but you were straight. Right. Here's a funny tale. Right, we went to this warfare. Right, first time show. Okay. Went to the bring and buy, and I literally said to Liam, "Hold my stuff." And I couldn't see him after I'd come back so many times. I did 2 trips to the car.
I like it. You got a personal shopper.
Yeah, exactly. And he goes, "I want to buy something." I said, "In a minute, mate. In a minute."
Your time will come.
Yes.
He just said to him afterwards, "And there's nothing worth buying. I bought it."
No, I bought it all. Yeah. You can buy it off me.
Yeah. That's it. Couple of quid on.
Exactly.
See you, Alex. See you soon, mate. Stay well. Sorry, it's just dropped off. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love going around all these shows for all those reasons. I mean, I'm a bit like you, Leon. I like to get there early, get around the traders, get as much stuff as I can. I generally have a shopping list, which generally is forgotten when I see all the shiny things, obviously. But then I'll just try and it depends really the show. But if last year I went to Warfare on the Sunday, which it always used to go on the Saturday, but for some reason this year we couldn't go and went on the Sunday instead, and it was a hell of a lot quieter, and it was so much easier then to have a chat to some of the manufacturers and some of the companies there and find out what they're up to and what they were planning, and that was really good. I really enjoyed that. Good chinwag and what have you.
See, now if you do that this year, Dom, you turn around and say you got a YouTube channel. This is when they start giving you loads of free loot.
I'm definitely doing that.
You are the I don't know, your swag you go for. I can't believe it. Just lucky. Well, but say I'm not complaining. I got my first review. I couldn't believe it. So there you go.
Yeah, if anyone's watching, feel free to send me stuff.
Leon will take anything you've got.
Yeah.
Send it over. Yeah, I think it's an opportunity there. I think particularly some of the smaller traders. I mean, they're definitely keen to spread the word, and I think the sad thing with all this, well, there's obviously multiple levels of sadness with this whole COVID situation, not least the personal stuff for a number of families and what have you going through it, but also the impact it's going to have on small traders and those sort of people that are really struggling. The shows that they would have gone to, the opportunity they would have had to promote what they're doing could have a huge impact on them. So
yeah, definitely.
Hopefully some of these can keep trading for the time being. I mean, the good thing is a lot of them are small businesses and often family firms, so they're probably still running. But you do wonder how long that can continue without the trade shows that they must rely on so heavily.
Yeah, precisely.
But everyone's kind of in the same boat there, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
my daughter's a hairdresser and she's had to close a shop, and
Yeah.
my
I could definitely
son-in-law
have
got
done.
laid
I
off
could
work.
definitely could have been done with using a hairdresser before I got hold of my bloody hair. Jesus.
Well, I have to cut my own hair if that makes you feel any better, and she's an hairdresser.
What?
I know.
What about family rates? Come on.
That's what I said. What mates rates, but no, she's not having it.
Jeez, she's tough, isn't she?
I know.
Yeah. No, neither of my daughters do anything like that. One was a swim teacher, so she got laid off too. So
Yeah, that's it.
that sort of thing. The other one's still working, but she goes up to London every day.
Wow.
She says it's. I said that she got this nice pass because she works at one of the universities in the labs, and it's like they're still sort of going in and working. She's not working on COVID stuff, but they're doing other stuff, so they've got to keep it running. And she's got one of these official passes to say you're allowed to travel and go anywhere, and she still has never been asked for it. I said, I'm so disappointed. You've got something official to show to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of those. Key. I got key worker.
key worker jobby.
Yeah, I got one of those.
I haven't got one.
Have you not?
No.
Well, I got some off the
Maybe I
government.
don't have to go to work anymore.
Yeah.
There you go. You don't need one up in Yorkshire.
No, that's true.
What do I paint now?
FYI, guys, bright orange paint from Vallejo tastes disgusting.
Strong tone ink's not anything to write home about either.
Not
to be honest with you,
either.
No. It's,
Do you know what, guys? I would just stick to sticking it in water rather than your gobs if I was you. Just a funny sort of thought there.
Crazy idea.
Crazy idea.
Oh, Liam says Liam goes chain of command locked and loaded in the rule bank, so we're ready for a game of that, and all out war rules, so Walking Dead all out war. That's another thing I told you about last week, wasn't it, Don? That was a bargain from Mantic Games, collector's edition, half price just because it had a damaged box. Okay, that's fine. Anything inside missing? No, it's all good. Just a scratch on the box, and it's half price.
Blimey.
Yeah, okay, we'll have that.
No, that's ridiculous.
I've done it again. Yeah.
Stop licking it, Liam. Jeez.
I'm always licking that. I'm always licking paintbrushes. Always.
But normally it's not so bad, but this orange is foul. You'd think it'd taste like oranges, but you'd be wrong.
Oh my God. So Leslie said a friend has sent a 54mm Nile riverboat complete with guns, troops and crew, over £1,000 worth.
Wow.
Is that for you to paint it, Leslie? Must be. Bloody hell. That's a big project. 54mm. Yeah. I bet that'll be really fun to do though. And apparently, because he's in France, you have to. I know I did read this in the newspaper. You got when you leave home, you've got to have print off a form which dates and times when you're where and when you're going. Otherwise, you're liable for a fine, €135 fine if you stopped and don't have it with you.
Bloody hell.
Really?
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. God. Which is great. So, what happens if you haven't got a printer or your printer runs out of ink?
Yeah.
You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, obviously not. That's weird, isn't it?
I love why I haven't got one of them keyword things.
I love the fact France is so bureaucratic about these things, but they're the most laissez-faire on all these sort of organisation, rules and regulations of any country. But you have to go anywhere. You have to have a bloody form that you print out.
Yeah.
It's weird. Weird.
Or a white flag.
You can't say that. Dom's got some 28mm Napoleonic French behind him.
Shut up.
They were different then.
Oh no, Dom, it's caught on camera.
Yeah, that's true. I did actually. I bought them because I thought I was going to. I think I was drunk actually. To be absolutely fair, I bought them on eBay, and I'd had a few beers, and I just thought, they'll be useful. And then I realised what I'd done. The full horror of buying French troops. Jeez, what was I thinking?
I can't stand this, and I've got loads.
Yeah, but French, Leon.
I know. I only buy them so that the British have got somebody to beat.
That's true. I saw. Did you see that Becker's command that Martin Seventh Son did?
Yeah, that was
with
great,
the
wasn't it?
absolutely fantastic. He had
Yeah.
French cuirassier officer and there was a French line guy stabbing a Brit with the bayonet. And I said to him, fantastic video, but fantastic diorama, but I'm not sure I like the subject matter at all. It's just not.
Shouldn't this be the other way round?
Exactly. It's not fair. Yeah. All the history books I read, that never happened.
No,
No.
snap.
Oh, they print them in the local newspaper. Oh, right. Okay. Got you. Right. So that's the forms. Apparently, you don't need a printer. You can get them in the local newspaper.
But then you have to go out to get the paper.
Aha!
22 situation.
Only a true British person would see that.
Didn't expect that kind of logic, did they? Oh my God, that's a nightmare. So Leon, you're new on our channel here, but you're not new on the channel scene. When did you start your channel up?
About 3 years ago, I think.
Blimey, 3 years. Why did you start it?
I was watching one of VK's videos, and he was just talking about, people should just do it for the sake of remembering what colours you use and stuff when you're painting and that.
That's bloody handy.
So
it's very
I thought,
handy.
you know what? I'll just give it a go. And yeah, that was it really. And that is the main reason I started, was to actually get stuff painted, because before I never used to paint hardly anything. I'd just play with it in grey plastic. It didn't bother me at all. And I thought, I'm getting nothing painted here either, so I'll do the YouTube channel so I can actually get stuff, to a gaming standard, and because it does look better. It's what attracted me to the hobby, was the whole image of that, a big 6x4 table, or if you've got more space, like 6x8, all covered in Napoleonic troops, and there's nothing quite like the spectacle.
No.
And then when they're just grey plastic, it does detract from it, obviously, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's the main reason I started, just so I could play with painted toy soldiers for a change.
And it does work, doesn't it? I mean, you do. I find myself doing the same. I'll think, I must get those figures finished because I want to show them on the video. I want to put them up or something. And it does work. It does make you do it. And I see a lot of people talking about that in their channels. Somebody did a round robin one, didn't they, about why you should do it and just get out there and do it. And everyone seemed to have the same kind of theme, was just sort of to get them to start painting and not be afraid to have a go at doing it. I think it
keeps you motivated.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. It keeps you wanting to do it, doesn't it? It's one of those. I won't ever put a model on the channel if I'm playing with it. If it's not painted, it don't go on the channel. And that's my thing. If I want to put it on the channel, I need to paint it. So
yeah, I'm the same with gaming now. Unless I've got something painted, it won't go on a gaming table.
No.
I'm sorry.
But before, I just didn't paint anything. I'd paint maybe one or two men in a unit, and then that's it. That's good enough. They can be game with now.
Yeah.
But then they never get finished, and this is another reason you end up with a huge stash of models.
Yeah.
Because once you've game driven,
that's it.
That's it. They lose that new thing, don't they?
Yeah.
And you think, I'm not bothered now. I'll just play with them all the time. I'm painted.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, isn't it?
But that is a thing, isn't it? New figures always perform badly on the tabletop.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can account for that many a time.
The rules I don't know, the gods of RNG just look down on new painted figures and go, not today, suckers.
I spent all day, I'll never forget it, right? I spent literally, I don't know, about 8 hours on this bloody 40k model. What was it? It was a Wraith Lord.
For the one.
Yeah, for the Elder Wraith Lord, yeah. And I really took my time, yeah, and I thought this is going to be the main staple of my army. Turn 1, opponent gets it. First thing he looks at, shoots it with his Dark Lancers, with his Dark Elder, blown up. Straight away. Straight away. Literally instant. Yeah, it was the first thing he shot at, and he killed it. He rolled 4 6s, and that was it. Done.
You could have guaranteed it, couldn't you?
Yeah. And I just didn't want to play after that. I was just like, fuck
I'm gonna
this.
take my toys home.
I
Toys
literally,
packing box.
no, I literally went. I literally looked at him and went, GG, see you later. Good game. Start again then.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah, Leslie, don't point that out. Thank you very much. You just pointed out my MDF buildings haven't been painted. He's right. I haven't painted them. But that's
Scenery's different. We'll let you off for that.
Oh no, see, I'm the opposite with that. I put some MDF terrain on.
I was just trying to make Dom feel better. I agree.
Oh no, I don't. It's fucking shocking. How dare he? It's one of those things. No, I've got to get it. So I mean, I can't wait to play on this board. It's going to be like, I just can't wait. I literally can't wait. It's going to be so epic, so epic. It's going to definitely be a whole day. You're gonna have to plot out a day or something to. I'm not just playing one game on it. That's not happening.
One game and then put it away.
Yeah, one game, pack it away, never to be seen again, just for that one YouTube video, and it'll probably get like 20 views.
You can put it on the Saga channel again. You might get a few people.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. To be fair, when I stuck it on that Saga channel, because I put it on there later, as soon as I did that, I got about another 60, 70 views. People just clicked on it.
What is this? What is this?
Yeah, what is
Stalingrad?
What is Stalingrad? It begins with an S.
Oh, he wasn't having a go. It was a question, really. No, you're quite right, Leslie. I do need to paint my MDF painting, and I have to say they are a bitch to paint, and that's part of the reason why I haven't done them.
Airbrush.
I think I mentioned this before. The airbrush. Thank you very much, Leon. Thank you. Yeah, actually, you know what? It's one time they probably would work really well, but I tried to use the old. Just priming them was an absolute bitch with them. I think I mentioned this before.
Yeah, because it soaks the paint up.
Yeah.
Paint just soaks it all in. And then somebody said to Silvio, the mad Italian down at Farnborough, he said, "Oh, we'll use this Halford's Grey primer on it." So I bought a couple of cans of that before the shutdown and sprayed it. And he's right, it does. It really coats it beautifully. So they're all primed and ready to go now.
Yeah.
So I do need to paint them up because I've got all these ruins that I bought on eBay, massive cities of ruins, which will be great for Stalingrad when it finally does drop.
Oh, mate, you gonna have a game on the table, Dom, are you?
Yeah, I'll have a go. Yeah, if I get an invite, I'll be down.
You got an invite. Here's the thing that no one knows. So if you're on the stream now and you've been watching my Stalingrad videos, here's a little thing that's gonna happen. Right, so on the board you've seen that I've got 3 2x4 boards, and I've got another roughly 1.5 by 4 foot board, which is going to be the Volga bit coming up. But actually on the main 6x4 there's going to be 4 sewer crates on the 4, like if you imagine a cross, like 4 points on the map. There's going to be another 2x4 section, so if you go down in the sewers there's going to be another 2x4 section of just sewers, so you move your models onto that. And it's going to be crossed, so you can move across the table as you normally would, but at double the movement value. So if it's only, say you do an advance, instead of moving 12, you move 24 inches. Or if you do 6, you move 12, just to be able to get across that board a little bit quicker. So just to add a little bit of homegrown rules into it. But you can also, do you put a unit in the sewers for defending purposes, or do you keep them up, or do you know what I mean?
So you're going to allow fighting in the sewers?
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, flamethrowers.
Yeah, flamethrowers on it.
Hello, Pioneer Squad.
Jeez.
So yeah, there's gonna, instead of because you normally go into the sewers and pop out the next turn. Screw that. Go in the sewers and have a fight. Why not?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, why not? I like it. Nice idea. Yeah, because in the Budapest book, there's a whole rule system about sewer movement and stuff, isn't there? But it is just literally you go in one hole and you pop up somewhere else.
Oh, no, you actually got to move across.
The actual fighting. That would be great.
Because it gives someone a chance. So if someone goes in the sewers, they then got time to react if they want to go in the sewers and do some fighting with them, or not. Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah. You wouldn't just enter the sewer and be in the same spot. You'd come in where the grate was. So depending on which part of the board, so if you're on the right hand side of the board, you come in on the right hand side of the sewers, left hand side obviously, and north south. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Some great modelling opportunities for sewers as well, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just give myself more work to do, but
Yeah.
It's,
you got nothing better to do. You're on holiday.
Well, it's not just that. It's more the fact of we're probably not going to be out of lockdown yet, so I'm not going to be able to play it. We're going to have to wait on. We'll probably get the Stalingrad board. The book will be released, obviously, but not going to get to play it straight off the bat, unfortunately, because I can imagine we'll probably still be in lockdown at the time.
Yeah. I can't. Yeah. Refer to my earlier comments. I don't think we'll be seen anytime soon, but we might be able to do sort of small group meetings fairly soon. That may happen.
Yeah,
but
that would be
big
nice.
Clubs, shows, no. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that supplement when it comes out. It should be good. I mean, it's. I did read that Warlords have reopened their mail order. So I'm imagining, yeah. So I'm imagining that's going to be the signal that they're sending, and some of the distributors have got the book already. I know, is it North Star? I think somebody else said they'd already got them. They were just waiting on permission to send them out to people.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they go out fairly soon.
No, we'll get the book. I just can't see us meeting up to play, but. Leslie said, "Can the wall texture roller look really good?" Oh, the wall texture roller, yeah, from Green Stuff World. This thing, that thing. If it's not shining,
it looks like some sexual aid.
I'd say it, didn't he? But
had to go there. Sorry.
Nice and simple. You just roll it on. It is really good. It's literally a case of. It'd probably push into this. To be fair, let me just move some of this out of the way.
Sounds even more.
He's definitely sounding more sexual, isn't it? Bloody hell!
Jesus.
He'll be talking about dwarves again in a minute. You wait.
Oh, dwarven love.
Here he goes off.
No, it's nice and simple. You just literally get it. It's not going to come up great on here, but. Yeah, it's not going to be great. I'm trying to see if I can pick up a bit of this terrain, but if I move it, it's literally a dodgy. Basically, it's an imprinting of bricks, so you don't have to do the individual bricks onto the foam, and you can dry brush it, and it just looks incredible.
Yeah, I've seen it. I nearly bought one a while back. That was another nearly drunken purchase one time, and I nearly bought one. They do look really good.
No, they are.
The effect's very good.
They honestly are. They are really good, Dom.
I'd
recommend it to anybody.
Well, I think I bought one of those how to make terrain books that somebody did. Was it the winter one? Fantastic book about how to build winter terrain, surprisingly enough. And it was absolutely awesome. And I was going to do all these projects, and then I just thought, you know what? I've got enough crap in my garage. I don't need any more.
No.
So I didn't bother. But that was going to be one of the things. So I just bought all these MDF buildings that I haven't actually done anything with either.
No.
So.
Fair enough.
But they'll get done. I must get around to it. Really must get around to it.
I'm sure you will. Well, I built all this Warhammer Epic terrain, and I've not even used it yet. That was a while building all that, but it's there. I'll end up playing my brother or something like that. It's there for when I want to play it. Definitely looking forward to playing it. Just the case is again when.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Or you could Skype play it.
Yeah. Well, we've been having some games on Tabletop Sim, haven't we?
Yeah, we've played a couple of them. That's been quite fun, actually. We haven't finished either of them yet, have we?
No, not yet. But we got it. But we've got it saved though, haven't we? So you can come straight back to it. So it's a
good system. I quite like it. I mean, it's fiddly. It's very fiddly. But
you're definitely getting more used to it. I can definitely tell you are.
Yeah. At least I don't destroy the table, unlike Liam.
Oh, fucking hell! Don't even start with that.
But I did read somebody had set up I think somebody's done a saga version of it now, and there's definitely people playing sharp practice on it, and the command chain of commands on there, and
Yeah.
all sorts of systems. So it must be great fun.
Well, me and Liam had a game of Talisman on it, board game, and that was bloody brilliant. God. Speaking of that, Liam, if you're still there, mate, I want a game of Relic. But just, have you ever played a Talisman, Leon? You ever played it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've played it. See, Dom, do you like fantasy as a genre in a way? Do you like the idea of it?
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Mate?
Yeah, I mean,
You'll have to,
Lord of the Rings was my thing growing up. I absolutely loved it.
mate. I gather you've never played Talisman.
Nope, never even heard of it.
Oh my god. Yeah. See, this is the thing, right? We could organise like. Have you got Tabletop Simulator, Leon?
No, I say both my laptop's dead, my computer's dead. All I've got is
Oh
my
bloody
phone
hell!
now.
Just literally got your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to have a game done with me and Liam. You have to come and have it. Come and join in like on the Friday night instead of playing a game of that, like 40k or no Bolt Action. Have a game of Talisman. It's really, really good. Really good.
So what sort of game is it?
It's like what's the best way to describe it? Really, it's a board game, but you basically moving your piece around.
Board game adventure game.
Yeah, it's like an adventure game, isn't it? But you can either work together or work against each other. It's what you want to. Yeah, or both. Yeah, you can be a snidey bastard like Liam was. Use it to your own game.
Yeah.
And really make someone very fucking salty. Really piss somebody off.
Wouldn't be funny at all, would it? No, not.
No, but it's based in obviously the Warhammer universe, the fantasy universe, and you've got Relic, which is the same sort of thing, but it's based in the sci-fi 40k universe.
Right.
And it's literally like a giant. But basically, when you get off of here, go to Tabletop Sim and just type in Talisman and Relic, and it will just load up, and you'll be amazed by the amount of actual pieces there are, because there's expansions and stuff like that. That's another game. That's a game I completely forgot about. Hero Quest.
Yeah, that's a cool game as well.
Yeah, I've got a set of it in the loft.
Do you know they're worth a fortune?
Yeah, I know. I paid 20 quid for it on Gumtree.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can get 150, 200 quid for that if it's in good condition.
Yeah, it is. It's all there. Everything's there. I've got to paint the minis. I'll paint the minis to a nice standard. But I wouldn't sell it anyway. It's too nostalgic for me.
Yeah, it's a good game. In fact, I prefer Hero Quest to Talisman.
Oh, okay.
It's a bit more in depth.
Sean World of Figures just joined, so he's just saying.
Oh, hi, Sean.
Either, mate.
So it's a weird thing though. So I'm not against any of these sort of things. 40k, any fantasy stuff. When I was a kid, it was one of the things that, apart from history books, that I read avidly was all the Tolkien books, and was heavily into all that sort of thing. Obviously, long before the films were ever out. I think there was a cartoon at one point, if anybody old enough to remember that.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, the Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Yeah. It pissed me off because it stopped. They never finished it, did they?
No, it was such a failure. They never did the rest of it.
I bloody love it, though. That's the problem.
So all those things I was heavily into, but I never, ever really got into any kind of fantasy gaming of any sort. I play every kind of historical version games, board games, afoot, tons of them. But fantasy, for some reason, apart from Saga Age of Magic, that's about the only fantasy I play.
Yeah.
I never have. I don't know why. It's very odd.
Right, I've given up with painting.
I did have a whole 48 on, and I got rid of them. That was the one sort of load of figures I sold.
What did you have?
Is it the Imperials?
Imperial Guard.
Yeah, Imperial Guard.
Yeah, I had a Guard army. I sold them as well. Just don't get around to playing it. But yeah, no, I like I've turned into more of a nostalgia sort of person when it comes to Warhammer. I really like all the old models. I just like the Perry miniatures and stuff like that, the actual hand sculpting, compared to all the new CAD design. The models look great now. Don't get me wrong, they look great, but there's something about old metal models that, I don't know, just feels better.
Yeah, they are nice, the old range.
I
They've
think
always
you're
got
right,
really
Leslie.
nice models.
Leslie says not enough hours in the day for fantasy as well as everything else, and he's right. I think that's been my problem. I've always had so many other periods of historical gaming to play that, and it is down to who you play with, right? Isn't it? It's
Yeah.
all the guys
Yes.
I've ever played with have always been historical gamers, and therefore I'm a historical gamer too. That's what I do. So I just don't really. There was a period a long time ago. I was a member of a club in Heston, just by Heathrow Airport there, and they
Yeah.
used to have quite a thriving fantasy side of things, but they had their own sort of rule set, and every Christmas I think it was they do a really big fun game where every single person took part in playing fantasy, and that was always sort of the height of what I would play, and I loved all those sort of games, and we used to play some good space starship kind of games. But I think that's probably about as far as it gets.
Yeah. That's the thing, as I obviously I haven't fantasy gamed, but I've made time for fantasy genre in board games. So
Mm-hmm.
something I can just pick up, play, and then put down, and not have to worry about it till next time I want to play. And that's what Talisman's like, is you can play it, then not have to think about it, and then when you go back, you get to be. There's so many different characters. Like you could be a monk, you could be a priestess, a fucking toad. Yeah, I got turned into a fucking toad last time. That was funny as fuck. Obviously, the toad's got shit stats, and
I forgot about that.
yeah, exactly. It happened to me. I pulled it. Pick up an adventure card.
Yeah.
Toad. You are now a toad. Bollocks. You can move.
Awesome.
Yeah. But it's good when you got a few more people. Like I played with just me and Liam, and it was fun. But if you got like 3, 4, 5, 6 people, it gets even better. The more people you get. But I'm just trying to get
There's
you
a lot more skullduggery goes on, isn't there? A lot more backstabbing.
Oh yeah. That's what it's all about, though, isn't it? It's all
Yeah.
about the backstabbing. You got to think you're number one sort of thing, Dom. You know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I've just found a video on Talisman. Actually, it looks like it's a whole game, 4.5 hours long.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, Dom.
I'll have a look. I've got work tomorrow, so need something to fill the day.
Yeah, exactly that.
Thud and blunder, Paul says.
See that? Yeah, blood. Yeah. See, this got the expansions, Dom. So on the video, you'll see like in a bit, and then that's like the main board where it's green, but this has got the 4 expansions, which gets even bigger than this. And oh yeah, we got to play it. Guess what I want to play at the minute?
Oh god, I can feel an invite coming for Friday.
Yeah, hello Tom. What are you up to this Friday, mate?
Oh dear.
I'll definitely need some beer though. Back to work.
Basic miniature paintings in the house as well.
Hello,
Hi, Justin.
Hi Justin, how you doing, mate?
Just turn that light down a little bit. A bit bright.
We've had a good flow through of people. Lots of familiar faces, which is great to see everybody.
Yeah.
Justin's just bought a load of Austrian Napoleonics.
Oh, nice. They have the best uniforms, the nicest looking army, but they play. they're so terrible in the rule systems, most of them, aren't they?
Yeah.
So just never seem to perform that well. Mind you, I suppose they didn't really perform that well for real, so
no.
Some of the units did.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right. I did say
the cavalry was.
The cavalry was excellent, wasn't it? Yeah. The cavalry was fantastic until the French nicked all their horses.
Yeah. Always a bit of a downer if you're a cavalryman, not having a horse.
Yeah.
But actually, I think Justin's going to paint his Austrians with contrast paint.
Ooh, speaking of Napoleonics and contrast paint, let's get these little bad boys on the go. See if we can get him in bloody focus this time.
That's one of your Spaniards, is it?
This is a French.
Oh, French. Okay.
French drummer.
Oh, yeah. No, it's focus. I can see.
If I can get him to bloody focus.
No, doesn't want to know.
No, it does not want to know. Let's try this. No.
Turning around to watch on YouTube, it's delayed, isn't it?
Oh, come on. My hand's in bloody focus. He's in my hand, damn it. I hate these webcams. Nope, not happening. But unless I put him up there, is that going to work? Oh,
Where's
there you
his
go.
wife?
There you go.
Where's his white flag?
No, it's picking up Celestial Grey bottles. No, go away. I don't want you to pick up those.
What we need is a British man standing right behind him with a bayonet sticking him up the backside. That'd be perfect then.
I've got a
Don't like to
Spaniard.
happen.
There you go. Spaniard stabbing him with his sword.
Yeah.
There you go. That'll do. Close enough.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I've got him painted. It's
Yeah,
just a
Justin says seems the quickest and easiest way because he hates painting white. Yeah, probably true.
It
Yeah.
takes literally. I'm trying to get one of these bloody French in focus so you can see the white on his trousers. Let's see if I can get one actually in focus.
So you use, was it skull white or whatever it is?
Yeah, skeleton bone.
Skeleton
That's
bone.
Skeleton bone first, and then wash it, putting white over the top of that.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
You get a nice warm white that way.
Check his trousers out if you can see him.
Yeah, that's nice. I've always hated painting white, and then I realised I can't remember, somebody did it in their video, and I thought, yeah, that's easy then. So then
I just use it as a wash. That's all I do.
Yeah.
It's just basically a wash. But yeah, that height that worked. Let's see if we can get that drummer to focus this time.
Nope, still doesn't want to focus.
Drummer's a bit of a bugger. Come on.
I've just got 20% warning for my battery.
Yeah, there you go. He's focused now.
That's right. Ken will realise in a minute that his missus is going to be calling him up to bed soon. You wait.
Oh no, I'm up tonight.
Oh, are you? Oh,
Yeah.
blimey.
You'll be looking at Talisman. Find a game for us. Get it all set up. Liam doesn't look like he's here now. He looks like he's disappeared, but he's going to get a message from me in a minute to say, yeah, Friday, mate. We're definitely on for a game of Talisman. And he'll be like, no, he really likes it as well. But it's one of those games, Dom. You just pick whoever. There's Dwarf in Talisman.
He's back on that again. Oh my god!
I wonder who I'm going to be.
Fixation.
I'm going to be the dwarf.
So is it a bit like Dungeons and Dragons? That same sort of thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't. It is and it isn't, because you go where the dice tell you to go. Because Dungeons and Dragons, you choose what you want to do in regards to where you go. But you basically, you fix on a board, but your character gets stats, and you've got to basically get to the middle of the board and win the game, basically. But it's hard to get in the middle of the board. You've got to prepare for it. So you have to go round all these different places like the tavern, the chapel, and all this sort of stuff. You have to roll, obviously, to move and get there. Watch that video. I think that I definitely think it might interest you. But there's so many different characters you can play, and you get to be who you want. So you can align good, you can align evil. So it really just does depend on how you want to play and what you want to play. There's magic in it. So spells and stuff like that.
I'll give it a go. I'll have a look at it. Oh, Jim's in the house. Hi, Mary Hinge is here.
Hello,
Hi, Jim.
Jim.
Good stuff. I will give it a go. I'll have a look at the video tomorrow. I will do. I need to broaden my horizons a bit. I need to buy some different figures.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Because you obviously need more.
Obviously need more. I was just saying before, I've got a whole Kickstarter coming from Atlantis Miniatures. They did that. I don't know whether you saw them. Beautiful, beautiful elves, wood elves. And they were just so fantastic. You know, when you look at a manufacturer and you just think, I don't know whether you've ever looked at Atlantis figures, but they're just absolutely awesome. Some of the nicest figures you'll ever see. But they're only fantasy. That's all they do. And I don't
Plastic
really do
or
fantasy,
metal?
right? Resin.
Oh, right.
Yeah, resin. And I saw them last year. I mean, they've been around for a while. I just happened to see them for the first time at Salute last year, I think it was, and I saw their oh God, was it? I can't remember some of their creatures, and it was around the time when Saga Age of Magic was coming out. And in Saga, you need a couple of creatures in your army, and so I bought a couple of them from there. They're so nice. They're such beautiful figures. And then I bought a few ogres from them. And I bought a couple of minotaurs from them, and they're absolutely stunning figures. But then they launched this Kickstarter for these woodland elves, and I just thought they're just such awesome figures. I just had to buy them. So I had this plan to do another Saga army with them, but I think I don't know really. They're just probably going to be just ones I'll keep and paint up, and because I'm not really into elves even, but they're just so nice.
I love wood elves.
If I was going to go anything, it'd be orcs or goblins or something.
I've got a 40k orc army, and that's a story. Now that is a story.
See you, Paul.
Sorry. But yeah, no, that's right. You'll understand this, Leon. I've got third edition orcs, right? So basically they're fully painted, fully based, and they're done to a good standard, right? So something that I would be happy to play with, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So probably about a year and a half ago, I purchased a bulk army lot. So I swapped a Bane Blade, which is an Imperial Guard tank, for what was it? It was a load of Space Marine second edition Space Marines, and I've got it in add-on. I'm trying to think what the other bloody thing was. What did I swap it for? Oh, a load of World War II British guys, for bolt action.
Yeah.
Okay, I swapped it all for that. So just did a straight swap on the buy and sell groups, So got it all come. The Space Marines, he goes, oh, you can have those for nothing because I don't want them. So I was like, okay. But when it it turned out there's about 60 of these second edition Space Marines.
Yeah.
And obviously I didn't want them, so I stuck them in the buy and sell group. And someone goes, oh, I'll trade you an orc army for them, but I'm in the States. So I was like, what do you mean you trade me an orc army? He sent me the vaguest pictures possible, what you could imagine. And I was like, well, I haven't got any orcs. It's worth a gamble. It's 15 quid postage. It's worth a try, right? So I swap it over. Yeah. Turns up, it's 2,500 points of fully painted orcs for about 50 of these second edition Space Marines that are monobows just stood there with their guns and flamers. And I'm thinking, are Space Marines that expensive that he can't get hold of them? Because my pictures were perfectly clear of what they were, and they weren't in the best condition either.
What you were getting.
That's weird.
And I was it turned out I've got a Land Raider, I've got 3 Chimeras, like they're all scrapped and that, but the Land Raider and the Chimeras on their own. And I've got probably about 60 boys, squad of looters, 40 Gretchens, War Boss. What else have I got? Oh God, I've got a couple of other bits as well. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I've got a Killer Clan, Stomper. It's crazy.
Is it such a thing that those sort of old figures, like old Space Marines, are they that valuable then, really?
No.
People want them that much?
Not second edition ones. No, not second. There's millions of second edition Space Marines. Unless he just couldn't get hold of them and he needed them. That's all I can think.
You'd just use new ones, though, wouldn't you?
Maybe he's going for the nostalgia feel.
It's weird, doesn't it? Because I mean, every other armor you go for, generally the newer figures are so much nicer and better.
Oh,
and,
they are. Yeah.
It's why would you want? I've got loads of old minifigs figures somewhere. I've got loads of old Hinchcliffe figures everywhere. But I'd get rid of them tomorrow if it wasn't for the fact I'm a collectomaniac.
Yeah.
But it's like, why would you want to buy them unless they were absolutely peanuts?
No, I've got no idea personally. But to be fair though, I like these third edition orcs. There's something about them I really like. The sculpts, I think some of them are still the same, unless they've changed them recently. I know they had an October a year or so ago, Games Workshop, but I think they hold up really well. Orcs are orcs at the end of the day. They've got a big fucking gun. They've got a big gun and they've got their big ass mouth. That's it. That's all you need. But for that swap, I was very confused. I still to this day don't understand what he did. And I messaged him. I said, "Oh, did your figures arrive? Are you happy with them?" And he was buzzing.
Really?
Yeah, he was over the moon.
I
Weird.
actually wonder whether there was something you just didn't know about. That there was something absolutely amazing about them.
Maybe
That's odd, isn't it?
no idea. But they were
So
literally
I had something similar.
just the
I had
plastic
something
ones.
similar, completely unrelated to this, but to figures. But I sold a whole load of vinyl albums a while back that I happened to have been stuck in the loft for years and years and years, and I never got around to using them. And I sold. I don't even remember. You won't remember them, Ken, because they're long before you. Yellow. Do you remember a band called Yellow?
Rings a bell.
They were sort of a techno German band, I think. Anyway, they had one hit years and years ago, and this was their second album, which never went anywhere. And I was a journalist, so I got sent these copies for review, and I had all these old promo copy vinyl of old bands that never saw the light of day, and I mean, this was one of them. And I sold them all on eBay. Most of them went for £2 or £3 or something like this. This one went for 100 quid, 120 quid. Somebody in Russia bought it from me, and I was thinking, what is? And I emailed him and said, well, why are you so into Yellow? I mean, he said, oh, they're really big here. It's like 120 quid for an old battered piece of vinyl that had been sitting in my loft, amongst all the piles of figures, taking up space that I needed for figures. I just thought that was just stupid. So I reinvested that in plastic. That was
yeah, it's a mystery, isn't it? Absolute mystery.
things
Oh,
people will buy.
I'll tell you what you could do, Dom. I could accept a challenge from you for some of those Confederates you got.
What?
Oh my God, you got so many of those, didn't you?
Yeah.
What is it? You've got both armies, have you?
No, I've mainly got Confederates. I don't know why. I tell you what, because a couple of the guys down the club have got the Union troops, and I thought, I might as well go Rebel. I prefer the Rebs anyway.
Yeah.
I've got both armies, or got a lot of both armies in 15 mil.
Oh, okay. They're just your 28 mils, are they?
That's just 28s, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to build a 28 mil that I could play bolt action and sharp practice with, which is what I did with the Napoleonic. Started with bolt action, then started to move into black powder as I got more and more troops. I just been like we did actually same as I did with the English Civil War project. I just pick them up as I see them on eBay, and then bring them by shows, and just somebody selling them off.
Yeah.
And I've got quite a lot now, so
yeah.
I must stop painting them.
Yeah. those AWI cannons. Look, they're meant to be quite. You were saying they're quite fiddly to put together, aren't they?
They're not too bad. I have to say, I don't find the plastic models as bad as.
Are they plastic? Are they the plastic ones? Are they?
They're plastic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They're not the metal ones.
Oh, I know. I'm thinking, are they? I don't know. I have made one up, but I can't remember now.
I remember
I don't remember it being really fiddly. It's not as bad as the Second World War guns. That's for sure.
God, yeah, the 6-pounders that you get from the bloody from the bolt action starter sets.
Fiddly as hell, both of them.
God.
In fact, I just finished a 45 mil Russian anti-tank gun, and that wasn't too bad. But even so, I was watching the video back that I was about to put up, which and I could see I've got the gun shield slightly wonky on it, so it's driving me mad now. I'm going to have to fix that. Do you get that when you're looking at the figures?
Yeah.
Painted them, you think they look great,
and then you look at them and you're like, oh, I missed a bit there.
It on the video, and then you look at it and you think, how the hell did I miss? There was one I did the other week, and there was a great clump of flock on the in horses. Now, how the hell did I miss that?
I've done it many times. Yeah, I've done it many times.
And I looked in the cabinet, and they're sitting there, and the flock's still there. It's like
it's like these Japanese. I didn't even notice. I've put sand on their bases, and I didn't even notice. Like you said, there's a load of sand halfway up the leg. I didn't even see it. I was like, how have I missed that? And it's so plain as day to see.
It is when you look, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's definitely when you got the big powerful light and you're videoing them, and you got the close up with the video. I notice things all the time. I think, oh shit.
That's when I spot most of my mistakes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Big lumps of filler on people's legs.
Yeah. So, what have you all got done this evening? I've got 2 Japanese and half a bike, ish.
I've actually done quite well, me.
I've barely done anything. I'm not gonna lie. Seriously. I think I might even have a break from the hobby tomorrow because I'm a little bit hobbied out. I haven't had a break from the hobby in about 5 or 6 weeks. Every day I've been doing something. I might play some video games tomorrow. Maybe look up Talisman.
Yeah, take the day off.
I finished basing up these Rangers.
Yeah, that's
They're
what I
pretty
need
much
to do, Dom. I need a load of Rangers to
Right.
base.
They're done, and I've just done a bit of work on some more, but I didn't get that far with them.
No, you're drinking too much
But
beer.
I've drunk a bottle and a half of beer, so it's not
Nice.
too bad.
Do you think it's essential that I go down the shop to buy alcohol for tomorrow? I think it is.
Absolutely.
I've never drunk as much as I do at the moment.
Oh, mate, same.
I've
Yeah.
actually stopped drinking, but now I've started again. It's
I
terrible.
was speaking to my mate, and he's like, I said, I'm drinking a bottle of vodka a day. I was
Oh
like,
my
you've got a
God.
problem, mate.
Yeah, that's a slightly. I thought 2 bottles of cider were bad enough, but yeah, no. God, I could definitely. Yeah, well, yeah, I could kill him for a cider right now. Pub would be about right now.
Oh God, yeah. Shauno says the same thing. He says video when he sees things on the videos every single time. Yeah, you're dead right.
100%.
Yeah, I have to say, in all fairness, there's a little in our village where we live. There's a little off license, and he's run by this Sikh guy, and at the best of times I can't understand a word he says. He's a lovely chap. I cannot understand a word he's saying to me, but he's also got a face mask on as well, so it makes it doubly difficult.
Makes
to
it
see.
even
But
harder.
he does everything, and he can get you any kind of alcohol you want, any different particular brands you want. He'll get it in for you. He's also now started a little stash of basic essentials like bread and milk and all that kind of stuff. So it's absolutely brilliant. You don't need to go anywhere. The trouble is, every time I go down for a loaf of bread, I suddenly find I've walked out with a whole load of beer, and I don't know how that happens, but it does.
It's strange, that,
And then
isn't
you have
it?
to justify when you get in through the door. It's like, well, why
Yeah.
you got all that again? I don't know. It's an offer, I think.
I think it was, and I just say, well, I've had half an hour's walk down to it, so I've worked a bit of energy. That's good.
Yeah, I get a reward.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way to go. But no, I haven't done too much tonight. I need to do some more. Need to get painting.
Well, I'm trying to get these Japanese done for the assault group, so I do need to do a video for these guys. And because I'm not being funny, these miniatures are bloody nice as well, which it would be nice to show these off. I'm really looking forward, to be honest, to showing off these Napoleonics on Wednesday. I always forget it, offensive miniatures. Always forget it, don't I? But yeah, I'm really looking forward to showing them off. And
they are beautiful, beautiful figures. I have to confirm they are so nice. I was so impressed with the moulding and the
He could well be getting an email.
Yeah. Just a quick tip. I don't know if you've got. Any of you got light mortars for your bolt action armies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have from the Japanese.
Yeah. Do you know how you have? Well, normally you have a light mortar. You've got a loader and a guy who's holding the mortar, and you put them on separate bases, don't you? Or one of the big bases. If you turn one of the long bases on its side, they fit absolutely perfectly.
I never thought that.
No.
I never thought that either.
And they absolutely go together absolutely perfectly because the guy sits around the pudding base. And if you do it sideways, and then you've got a light mortar,
then shows you're never too old to learn something.
Because I always thought it looked really crap and naff because they were so far apart. But...
Does that mean we can say this video has been, or this channel tonight has been educational as well?
Definitely.
100%.
Fantastic.
Where to get beer here if you're in the middle of nowhere?
That point, really, shouldn't we?
yeah, definitely. Oh my God, it's 5 to 10 again.
Winning. It is 5 to 10.
Oh my God. I think definitely a round down. I think so. Like I say, I've done bugger all really. I just enjoyed a nice chat. I've needed a break, so I've had a good time. Yourself, Leon, you enjoyed coming on?
Yeah, enjoyed it, mate. Thank you very much for having me.
No, that's all right. Possibly see you again maybe in the future, maybe next week if you want to come back. You're more than welcome.
Yeah, I'm available next week, and then I'm back to work after that. So.
Yeah, I'm back. Am I back at work? Yeah, I'm at work, but I'm not on call. Oh no, am I on call? Am I not on call? I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, maybe folks will be back next week, or maybe we won't be back next week.
Yeah, it'll be back the week after. Yeah. Well, if
Oh,
I'm
fair
on
enough,
call,
I'll
it's not
be
too
back.
bad. I just might have to disappear midstream.
We'll just put a dummy there instead, and nobody will notice. It'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, just occasionally shout dwarves and airbrush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
And
I'll put
contrast.
Skype on the phone and just talk as I'm going to work. Just no
Yeah.
video. You can come and see what a key worker does.
God,
But yeah.
that's a frightening thought. But yeah, thanks for everyone who's joined us tonight. Thanks, Leon, for joining. Really
Yeah.
hope you can join again. It was great to have you on
Yeah.
board as well.
Yeah.
And Ken, thanks for your drivel about contrast paints, airbrushes, and dwarves. I've learned more about dwarves tonight than I ever really want to learn, frankly.
Oh, dwarves. No worries,
Oh,
guys.
Right. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll
See
see
you
you again soon.
See you soon.
Cheers.
Bye.
See ya.
Cheers. Thanks.